already knew Neon did that.
Oh, we knew.
We already saw Neon do that. We see Neon running supports as cores before the old Neon. So it is Southeast Asia's patch because people are starting to do these silly things. Yeah. It's great. Love it.
Love to see it. Right before TI as well. I mean, this TI, it's destined for Southeast Asia. I just know it, John. Not that I'm, biased or anything, but, SEA is going to win. 100%.
The battle
Rune spots?
begins.
Looking at the Lycan Wolves as well, it's a 2 for 2 on the bounties, by the way, nothing too surprising, but looking at the Lycan Wolves, remember yesterday, I can't remember who it was, but they sent the Wolves right into the base of the enemy and just started sniping couriers. He got
down and early levels is long seconds for dodge, whereas raises, they're fairly spammable. 10 seconds and you have 3 of them. He is doing a good job of jungling lane aggro. I think that's one thing Mamangdai was doing really well, just shuffling the creeps around to ensure that he's not enraged during follow-up raises, just holding out from here.
That's a great setup from RR down at the bot lane. He even allows Tino to secure the kill with the Wolves.
Supports, so that's something AG's going to have to watch out for. And as the levels build up again, Tino is going to be a bit tankier to zone out. Up top, though, they are diving Raging.
No DB. He's going to cop a lot of damage here from BDZ, but they do at least kill off Raging Potato. BDZ, can he trade DB? Going to run right back into him. He does have the Rocket Barrage, and he's quite healthy right now. The Fire Spirits, it's not going to be enough. They have the Scatter Blast there for BDZ. UK should still be able to get the kill back. BDZ, going to go for the cookie. Charge in for Raging. They might just find him. He does secure his own kill down at the bot lane against RR, so finding that Pango once again. And I think Tino, he obviously can't help right now. Lycan, it's all about hitting creeps for him as they secure another nice kill. However, top lane, Raging Potato now in danger again. DB not going to be able to finish, but no, the flat cannon shots might be enough, and they are. Nice setup there from DB, and BDZ's not too safe either, though. Mid lane, Mamangdai ends up dropping to Bob solo. BDZ is going to be able to survive.
Middle tower is under
the mid lane, Bob. It's like he landed quite a few raises there, and well, the Ember, even with the Flame Guard, is not going to be able to survive the damage output of this SF.
Yeah, it just doesn't work out with the bonuses per stack and the Shadow Rays. Even at this point, with level 3 Shadow Rays, you can just burn through most of that protection on the Ember with 2 strikes, start doing damage. And this is where the downside of the Ember starts to show itself in the SF matchup. Sleight of Fist is just not very spammable. You don't have your level 6 to play with Remnant dodges, and if you can't avoid the SF's damage, he will overwhelm you. So great stop from Bob. He's having a lot of right-click damage fly as well with his Necromastery up and running. And Mamangdai is going to have to just be really cautious. Maybe wait for level 6, likely having to wait for 7 or 8 before kind of catching up. He's just going to have to rely on the jungle and wait for some level spikes to get some side lane rotations.
Never refuse.
Some nice space creation as well from RR down to that bot lane, forcing Wommy and LYM to just chase him down forever. Definitely brought even more space here for Tino on that Lycan. Wommy not going to be too dissuaded by it. He's still CSing very nicely on this Bloodseeker. To be expected though, considering he does have quite an easy lane. Mid lane, Bob gonna get dived, but RR is there to help in that raise. My goodness, it's a lot of damage as UK. He's gonna be the second to drop, and now RR is not safe either as they cookie Bob forward. He pops the clarity. They've got the raise, but no, he's off the mark. It won't matter though, because RR is going to chase down LYM, but does he have enough damage? Well, he has a swashbuckle, and that should be enough to close the gap and secure the kill.
This is something to remember me by.
There was a decent enough attempt against Bob here, but the SF survives, and well, they get jungle. Naturally, they are going to start moving their way up towards the top lane. I mean, if you get the top T1 and mid, in fact, hold on a minute, DB, he gets caught out. Oh, that's a pretty big mispositioning error there from DB. I mean, you've got to expect Bob to rotate their BDZ, and we're now Raging. They're going to find UK. He has his Icarus dive up, but the Nether Strike right on time. That is perfect timing from Raging Potato. And oh, I mean, Army Geniuses, this is a very rough start for him here. Mid lane, they've got RR. They should be able to secure the kill, but please tell me they get this at least. Oh boy, they don't even get that. This is a very difficult position now for Army Geniuses.
It goes back to the timings we talked about from draft. Like this lineup from EXECRETION just comes online so fast. need UK to have 6. They need to play around with a rupture combinations with a swap as well once the LYM has it. So far, they just don't have the levels.
Oh, DP. I don't know about this farming position here, DP. He's going to go down. UK, he's going to stand up, but Raging Potato again with a perfectly timed Nether Strike. You can't farm the... I mean, you've lost the top tier 1, you've lost the mid tier 1. The reason DB's there in the first place is because they haven't gotten the bottom tier 1 tower yet. But that's going to be a real issue. I mean, Tino, he's not leaving the lane. He might do it now, but you've lost so much map space and so much farm now on Army Geniuses. Against a draft like EXECRETION's, if this keeps up, this game's over in 10 minutes. Mid lane, Rupture's out, BDZ gonna go for the TP, the chains are there, Mamangdai, he was off the mark with the Remnant, does eventually get there to get the double damage. So they get something. Really, my main cause of concern is how well Bob and Tino are both farming right now.
So it's not going to be easy for Army Geniuses. And it goes back to this point where they're far behind on cores. The bigger issue is that their supports have also stalled out. Like, they just hit level 6 in the UK. They already have swap on LOM, so they can play with some of their combinations. And they've got a solid foundation with Wami getting all those kills early on, going 3-0 and Bloodseeker. They've got a pretty good... aggressive core to kind of play with their spells now, but they're not ready. Like, they're just kind of trying to get what they can from lanes. The side of EXECRETION has more map to play with. Raging's just all the way forward, and they are rotating on it.
Yeah, they're going to get something. Rupture's there. That'll make sure that Raging doesn't charge, but he's actually going to go back in on the Phoenix. Blood Rider's out though, Raging. He'll get a few creeps before he dies. He knows he's got no chance of survival at that top lane, so a nice setup there from Army Geniuses. In the meantime, EXECRETION, they smoked up, at least on RR, but it looks he's only going to be able to go on a water run. Not much to be done here. I think they're just very focused in on finishing off Snow, and he's out there. Just needs about 600 gold now. The real storm comes in. On the brighter side, you look back at Wami, at least he does have the Rod of Atos now, so you have a way of cancelling TPs. Mid lane, RR, he's made the rotation, and CDP charges there from Raging. They're going to roll right in. Cookie out of the walk is a bit off the mark. I think it was meant to be the rolling thunder, but it won't matter because they've got the thumbs out. Swamp is there for DB. Oh, what a charge. Raging, he lands 3. Oh boy, and now they go right on the egg. They blow it up as well. Mamangdai is going to try and fight this one out. He'll remnant right back to BDC. A nice sleight of fist, but it won't matter. LYM, he's going to try and run, but the Cookie's there. Your Raging Potato, he hit 3 people with that charge, John. I mean, nice Rod of Atos, but BDZ, he's got backup. He's got some security guards. They're not going to allow Wami to just do what he wants.
And EXECRETION, they've just really taken over this game. Like, they've got the 6 game lead, 13 minutes in. Raging's not done.
Raging's just going... He's raging right now, John, but it may have gone too far, or maybe not. And Wami is just going to get turned on now. They're trying to get the damage out. Raging, he might die the blood right, but he will at least get Wami in response. And Tino's got the Overlord. It's on the way. And this is when the fun really starts for this Lycan.
Yeah, that's when I'm not sure if you're going to be able to handle it on AG's side, or all going to be struggling in basically fall apart like this.
Oh, bot lane, DP, he's been caught again. LYM, he's going to try and swap him out. The Nether Strike is there to knock him right back in, and they are just perma-stunning them. RR, he's going to move back onto the LYM. They've got the Sunray, but the Sunray does nothing. And the charge is there, Raging. He's not done. He gets another. Mid lane, Bob. Requiem a bit off the mark. Wami is going to try and turn now back in onto Bob as he goes for the TP play, but they've got the chains out. Bob, he finally uses the BKB. It might be too late, but he's going to try and fight as Mamangdai will chase him down, but here comes the cavalry. RR's there. Raging charges right through Mamangdai. Gets the start off of Wami. I mean, they've got the kill on the SF, but it still costs you mid-ember. And the worst part was, Raging, he was charging to Wami. He wasn't even charging the Ember. He just lines it up perfectly.
Yeah, they just don't respect the Spirit Breaker charges, it feels like. AG. You know, the hero isn't too popular, at least in Southeast Asia recently, so maybe they forget that Spirit Breaker is just going to run up at you. The stun from the card, pull in line. You got to space yourself out a bit better there on AG's part. Execration's punishing that really well. They're always just backing up these aggressive moves from Raging quite nicely, although he has to watch himself. AG, they're grouping up top.
Oh, very deep positioning here. He's going to pop the bulldoze, run with the charge. How far are you going to run, Raging? Oh, he tried to stop at the end, but it was a bit too late. So Wami does secure another nice kill with the rupture. I suppose in the end, he was always going to die. There was no real way out. The Raging... you look at that, that might be considered a bit of a forced error, right? Like he's farming very deep at the bot lane, and it's kind of an obvious spot where you are gonna die, but the amount of space he's buying for the rest of his team and the rotations he's forcing out from AG, like they had to bring 3 heroes in to try and get that kill done. There's now UK, well, he tried to put the double damage route, but it's gonna cost him his life. And this is kind of the space I was talking about, because Execration, they were headed towards the Roshan pit, and they're going back in. They know they can get it done.
You've got the Thunderhide on, so they've got that Frenzy that goes in. Bonus attack speed, really good. 100% uptime on that Ancient buff, so you get basically 375 attack speed every single time, and that just helps clear out this Roshan. Not going to be too long with a minus armor aura on hand. AG, they don't have an option to fight inside.
Slider Fierce, he does juke out the charge. In the meantime, Roshan does end up dropping here. Execration. And they're going to be looking to just start moving into that tier 2 mid tower. Oh, Rolling Thunder does end up connecting. Raging, he's got the stuns out. How did that happen?
Prepare for a lesson.
I believe he wasn't expecting the Blink Dagger on RR, and he just Rolling Thundered in onto the Ember.
Yeah, just caught off guard, not respecting just how far ahead Execration is farm-wise and experience-wise to an extent. You can see Execration grouping up mid, taking the tier 2 right after. They're clearing out the map. There's only one outer tap region. They don't have much room to farm up, and we talked about the Gyrocopter maybe being massive in the late game. He hasn't gotten enough farm. He's lagging behind his Spirit Breaker at this point in build-up. DB does have his Ags up now. Ags alone isn't enough for Gyro. Like, you're gonna need a BKB this game, you'll need a Satanic. Takes a ton of space to get that done, and once a tier 2 bot falls, there's not much space left here for Army Jesus.
Yeah, we just look at the attack speed on Bob. He's got no attack speed items but the treads. And he's just hitting like a madman. Very good. This Ancient Thunderhide doing a great job. He's now smoke up, they understand how strong they are. Bob, he'll go back to farming as every SF does. The rest of Execration gonna start moving into the other side of that dire jungle, and it looks like they're gonna find that big target they want. DB, he just got the Ags up. He'll back at the right time. Meanwhile, RR already gonna get the D wards out, which is gonna give the information for Army Geniuses that they are around that jungle. Mid lane, Mamandaya. They're staring him down right now on this Ember, Raging. He's trying to find a way in. He won't find the opportunity yet. Or will he? Rolling Thunder committed, they've got the stun, they time it through the side of Fist. Can they get the perma stun out? You bet your ass they can. And that was perfectly timed from RR. He waited for the slide of Fist and jumped in with the blink and now swaps around there, but he's got Raging Potato there, but he's going to charge forward. He doesn't get the damage off though. Bob gets caught by the Blood Drive, but he still has the Aegis up. He will actually pop the, but he's not popping anything. He's just healing up. Aegis will go down though. Looks like that'll be enough. They back up.
Yeah, it's decent enough hold from AG. They managed to get that swap combination with the Rupture, and once they take out Raging Potato, that's something more annoying control that they can't handle, taken out of the picture. They hold on to their egg. So they've still got a high ground tool as well for any follow-up fights that Execration might look to force, and they keep trying to stall this game out. They try to get DD more farm, more space. No camps to clear though, so not as much you can get out here. And they're still playing cautiously. They know Execration's this far ahead. Bob is just going for the right-click build on that SF. Daedalus coming up next. With that Thunderhide or whatever else Ancient Creep you could get for the Overlord, you can't stop that SF. Once he hammers into you, that's it. You have to kind of burst him down every time. We have seen that they can do that from that high ground defense. You just need to kind of focus Bob. Of course, he didn't pop BKB, although
You know what I love about Core Spirit Break? Good job. The fact that you buy Shadowblade, you pop it before you hit the target that's getting charged, and they have no idea it's coming. The fact that Shadowblade allows you to, you're allowed to use Shadowblade mid-charge is one of the beauties of this hero right now, especially considering how popular Shadowblade is as an item. And here we go again, raging. Unless he gets spotted by a ward, Mamang Tai is about to cop a big stun, and he's not even gonna know what's coming as the wolves are giving vision, but Rolling Thunder was too early. Way too early there from RR. Just off the mark. And I think they would have gotten away with the charge connecting with that Shadowblade had they just waited, but RR, ants in the pants, gets a bit too excited.
Missed opportunity, but it is forcing AG to really play cautious. Like even after taking that Aegis, they're still kind of stuck in their high ground. They will smoke now. They've got Rupture, they've got Swap, they've got Egg. They just need to find a good team fight. They need a good spot for it, somewhere nice and tight to catch these kills.
They're going after Rage. He's very deep again. Shadowblade pop, but he can't really run out of this. And they can just swap it back in. However, Wolfform's going to be popped. They'll chase down LYM in UK. Not going to see the Icarus dive out. LYM is going to try and TP, but there's no chance of getting out with that much damage flying in. They get a 1-for-1 trade, but it is certainly favorable for the side of Army Geniuses. And as long as they can keep holding high ground, they do theoretically have the better late game draft. So all they've got to do is keep holding out until they can match the net worth of Execration. But they are 13k behind at the moment.
Yeah, it's a lot to gap close there in terms of net worth. Like, down the line, sure, the Ember could start to hit really hard, depending on how Mamang Daya itemizes and playing around the hero, maybe going for the Ags refresh, as we see a couple of times, maybe opting for more of a physical build with Sleight of Fist, emphasis on pretty open on the hero. I think can't really take away Execration's late game though. Maybe the Spirit Breaker tapers off, the Lycan to an extent does as well. But the SF, I think, kind of holds its own, especially this right-click build. So even if you do go late game, Bob is always going to be a constant issue to do so. AG side though.
Oh, you don't want to charge that way, so he's just going to pop the Shadowblade and run. Get stunned, but they can't really capitalize as now he wants to go back in, I think. They want to force a fight. DB gonna get scouted. Sentry's not there, but they're not catching Raging yet. Now they've got Bob, but he's gonna pop the BKB, and now the Egg is gonna be committed, but it's out of position. They're gonna burst it down immediately. On to the next. BDZ just spinning at the Bloodseeker. Wammy's gonna die. Mamang Daya, who we forced to surrender now, but L1, he's gonna drop his DB. He is the last one left standing here. I say the last one. I mean the last one available, but Mamang Daya is going to be charged and he didn't see it. Oh, the Shadowblade again. Pays off for Raging Potato. Options it all. They just get outplayed. The GG's called. They've had enough. And that's just a beautiful game from Execration. Very, very clean stuff.
Radiant played spectacularly well. They play this really quick tempo. We talked about it from Grab. They want the shining moments for Execration. Execration hitting even their level 6 timings is going to be pretty rough for AG. Spectre is going to need a lot of space to farm up, which leaves you with 4 heroes to fight with. Now those 4 heroes are pretty strong. Pop plus Undying, Venge, and Shadow Demon around can kind of just win these fights by themselves. They just have to find the angle. You talked about the lack of stuns from Execration. Earth Spirit kind of fixes that a bit. And it's still going to be a bit tough to catch out Mamang Daya and the Quap. So I think they got themselves a nice mid to sort of abuse that shortcoming in the draft. You just have to ensure that they can play around that tempo. Maybe try to play around Haunt if possible, just to give their Spectre safety and give her some farm and give her some kills to build up and slow down the pace of Execration. You need to keep Tino in check. Like, he's the big win condition of Execration. Even if all else falls flat, as long as Tino is also free farming, like the Spectre is, Tino will still win out. So that's the condition for AG. Make the TA lane hellish, hit their early spikes, try to get team fights going with their Undying, Shadow Demon, and Quap, and kind of prevent being run over by Execration, as you mentioned.
Away, but no, well, there we go. I think the problem as well for AG, and they've got to be particularly careful about this, is how they stack, right? Because you've got an Earth Spirit, you've got a Bounty Hunter. They can easily invade the jungle and start getting that information for their team. And of course, when you're against TA, you've make sure that she doesn't come steal those stacks, because she's going to be online a lot faster than the Spectre is, at least in terms of farming those stacks up. And we'll see what LYM does, whether he does opt to stack early on. But I think if they do, they're just going to be very wary of what Tino's up to, as Tino is going to run right into LYM. Does ping out, maybe assuming a ward was placed, but LYM hasn't actually placed the ward yet. Meanwhile, on the other side, Raging Potato on the high ground of the dire jungle is going to spot out UK. He's going to run in as well. It might cost him as the magic missile is going to fly in. He got a bit of bonus gold, but it's not going to be worth his life as they just chase him down now and Raging. This wasn't the way, sir. BDZ, he's going to move in. They've got the Heavenly Grace out. Nice boulder smash through 3. And that's going to be enough.
Worth. Definitely, it's a lot of time wasted, a lot of spells. I mean, he steals the gold in the end. Let's see if they can get away with a bounty, though.
Wait, how much gold did he get? Yeah, he got 12 range now to really connect it, and well, by this point, you are going to need a couple right clicks. Because top lane is Raging Potato against DB, so Spectre vs Bounty Hunter. I don't think it particularly favors either one. I think BDZ, of course, just going to want to keep UK away from Raging Potato as best as he possibly can. Even then, though, I mean, Raging, he's playing an Agi hero. He's not going to mind the decay too much. We'll see how much pressure UK can apply, but yeah, it can be a little bit difficult, though. Bot lane, Tino has a lot of damage being dealt, and they've got the kill. Nice set up there from LYM and Wami. And again, it's very important for them to try and win out these lanes, and that's
take control from there.
Jeez, the amount of damage Wami does on that then, just kind of ridiculous. Hasn't even got any points in the inventory, which is fairly standard. As now Raging, he came with the Janata strike. BDZ, he's going to try and help out. Mamang Taya, he landed the scream, but the Hood of Defiance is keeping Raging alive. Sonic Wave is Raging. He's out of there. You might lose BDZ, but no, RR trying to help him out as Raging. He is still being chased down. They really want the kill, but I hear a tinker, and I hear rockets coming. Raging, how much more space is the man going to buy? Now he's caught out. Mamang Taya blinks the right direction and does get the kill. And Bob, I think he was trying to spam rockets, but ultimately they didn't really end up really connecting on anything. And so another nice kill going to the way of Army Geniuses. This Bob, he's gonna have to rotate and try and defend this bot lane now from DB. But DB, he's more than happy to go hit some creeps anyway. He's not concerned by this.
He's just
in fact,
bomb.
Wasn't the position to blink Bob. He's probably gone here. I can't imagine he survives this, and yeah, he's dead. Raging, gonna try and help out and fight back, but you've got more help coming in. UK's there with the Undying, and that's gonna force Raging Potato back, and even forces BDZ to cancel his TP as he was TPing right onto the tombstone.
Good save coming out on, preventing any rotations onto that spec. They managed to find a punishment on that Tinker. Have to watch the positioning. Oh,
very dangerous again. Mamang Taya is there with the damage. In fact, they'll just swap back in RR and go for an easy kill. As Raging, he dies bot lane. EXECRETION, they're really overextending in this game number 2, and it's costing them very heavily. As Bob, he's trying to move in to get these kills. He might get LYM and does, but is it going to cost him his own life? He gets the blink off in time. They still know he's gone somewhere. TP out, is it going to be there? No.
Yeah.
Did he just... How did he cancel that TP?
Is under attack.
I'm not sure. Probably a small mistake. He does die in the end. Good punishment out from AG, and they have built up 2 to 9, 14 minutes in, and they're hitting their timings on every hero. They're buying space out for the spec, who's still in the top 2 of net worth. Not what I expected. I expected EXECRETION's lineup to just play aggressive once they hit that level 6 on their Tinker, to play around with the Heavenly Grace sustain up front. We haven't seen RR dip into these lanes to play with that sustain he can give. He's just been sticking to Tino to ensure the TA gets farmed. Now they do clear at the top tier 1. They get them objective. They're still staying in the net worth and kind of evening out, and there's no push coming through from AG yet. They are pressuring bot, but can't quite find a trade. So in some ways, EXECRETION's still hitting some good peaks, but I feel like we start to ask for more relatively soon.
Well, the tracks are going to start adding up now, and I think EXECRETION is starting to realize they might need to group up and actually get some work going as well, rockets are flying. Look at this, I mean, DB, he's trying to run. They have so much vision, and DB, he's still going to survive, but they do get the Undying. Meanwhile, UK ends up dropping here to Bob, and he manages to TP out. RR, he's going to try and back out of there. Meanwhile, towards the north, LYM, he gets a purge off with the Raging, but turns around for the Shadow Poison. And that might just cost him, as he will go down to BDZ. And that net worth lead you were acquiring on AG, it is going to disappear very fast against these track kills of Execration if you're not too careful.
You can't afford to lose your Spectre at all. Like, they lost him earlier on. He was just getting run down by the missile barrage with track. They lose a lot of stacks here as well. It's not a quick clear out from Raging Potato, but with Bob around with lasers, that's going to make it a lot faster. And that's a lot of farm that they have been trying to save up. And this is when it starts to get really shaky, because now Tino's gotten more space. He's #1 in net worth. It's a TA. With Dragonlance up, once you get the Deso up, once you get the Blink up, you're not going to keep pace with that as a Spectre. Not yet.
Rockets flying in again, Raging just throwing out the tracks. They're going to try and kill him off, but there's going to be a lot of damage flying in. Still, UK is there to try and help out Bob. Now there's your Heavenly Grace and Guardian Angel being thrown as Raging. He does get purged, but it won't be enough. There's now the Hawk and DB. They really want this kill. They're going to go after RR instead. Where's the Rockets? Not out yet, Mamantaya. He can keep going. Tino, he's going to join in now with the Deso, but it's a full 5-on-5 engagement in the mid lane. Raging, he might die, and finally does go down as the Soul Rift is there, but Mamantaya is dropping low and does drop as well to Tino. BDZ, he's going to try and back Wami. He'll keep rushing, but Tino's doing way too much damage, and they'll get another kill.
Is under attack.
And the thing is, you can find a 2-for-3 trade, but again, those tracks, they make it so much more worthwhile for Execration. And you can see even the gold change, I believe it was only 1 or 2 track kills they got, but they still got better gold than Army Geniuses.
It's just way too much, and the fact that you're forcing your Spectre to join in with just the Echo Saber, it's not matching the spike on Tino. He's got that Deso timing up. He hits too strong. He was left alone for way too long. It just boils down now to that core matchup. TA versus Spec. TA will always farm faster and hit these spikes earlier compared to Spectre, no matter what.
Has fallen.
DB, he's going to be very careful now. He's having a hunt around, but he's got teammates around him. Raging's going to move in and start getting those tracks out. In fact, they roll right in. BDZ, he's rolled way too far. It's the classic Earth Spirit bait. Sees a Spectre, thinks he can land the roll, gets juked, and he rolls right into a tower. We've all done it. All us Earth Spirit players, we do it all the time. It happens. Let's see what they go on. Yeah, I mean, tracks are there, John. There's going to be a lot of damage flying out as UK gets the lead of BB. I don't know about going in like this. It is a very dangerous predicament. Sonic Wave is there, but look at the damage on Mamantaya. 2 uphill misses in a row. Are you kidding me? Mamantaya being blessed by Gaben as DB still trying to run from these rockets. Moving in, RR unable to get any kills, but it won't matter as the it's too much. I mean, these side blades, there's too many broken things in this one game, and it's bothering me over and over again, and as the team fight breaks up.
Yeah, it's just too much. Execration's just got this early tempo lineup that might not have been finding kills, but they got a lot of space for a TA to do TA things. You know, with level 2 up on the ult, Bob, the rearm's a lot easier to play around with 2-second channel time. He's gonna have Ag soon. So the shrink rate's going to be put in play, taking away 10% of the HP as well, and the balance now is so painful.
Boy, just look at the net worth of Tino now, Chop. Just a second ago, he was behind. Just look at him. 4K ahead.
Yep. He bounced up in the last fight, like around mid lane, and when he took a couple of those kills, when they went 2 for 3 on Execration side. And that's when he bounced back, just off those tracks, and it's just impossible to play this comedy game now.
Oh boy, they didn't have the swap. Oh, DB commits Haunt, they don't kill Bob, and now Bob's going to come back with a full reset, and guess what, John? They're going to fight in that exact same spot. Tino, he's waiting on the high ground. DB's going to run right into him. Meanwhile, on the south, they've got Wami controlled up. LYM is trying to help. Mamantaya, you're only amplifying the side lane, sir. He helps out the side of Execration. As LYM's just going to get torn apart. They got a 4 for nothing. I hate Tinker so much. I really do. It's just not a fair hero. You can't balance this hero, John. As long as Rearm exists, this hero is... You can't balance it. It's unbalanceable.
Dire's bottom tower is
It's
under
a
attack.
tall
Dire's
order
bottom
to
tower
expect this thing to be
has fallen.
balanced. And they just rip apart. Execration, suddenly 13k
Dire's
lead. I wonder how
middle
the
tower
graphs
is
look
under
like.
attack.
Team Network,
Which one would you like?
Spikes up and never goes down. Network, you can see it was slower, right? AG was winning laning phase. They were taking the kills. There wasn't much coming out for Execration. Then Track comes through and that's it.
Oh, here we go again. Raging in right on target. Gets the vision again. Roll in. BDZ get plenty even more as they go right in onto that Shadow Demon. LYM just gets ripped apart as Momon Dive's going to try and move in, but the Hood of Defiance protecting Raging. Do they have the detection? They should, and they do. I'm going to secure the kill. A 1-for-1. Definitely more favorable for the side of Army Geniuses.
Dire's middle tower.
But the fun
is under
doesn't stop
attack.
there as Tina has joined in now in UK. Well, he's going right to the graveyard as Bob. He's king of the hill right now. More than happy to stand on the cliff and spam out some more spells.
Oh, disgusting. I just saw it. I saw Heavenly Grace plus Defense Matrix. 70% stat resist. That sounds nice. That's not even max Defense Matrix. Yeah, 70%. Oh, what stuns? What control? How will he kill the Tinker if he does have that protection? I have no clue. Roach being starts by Tino with that Dezo and the Chrysalis. This guy's just so far ahead. 14k, almost 2 times more than BD. 2 times Mamon Dias network. Just, yeah, Execration, they played us very patient early game. They kind of give out a little bit in their laning phase. You know, they don't win out as we saw in game 1, but they get the investment in this TA. AG, they need to get something for, well, for their Quap if it lived, and for their Spectre. Right? Like, you only have Yashi, you have Echo Saber. We talked about Echo Saber and Spectre meaning that you have to play the haunt. It's not happening.
Dire's top
Yep.
tower.
Raging, he does at least get caught out here. So they've got the Bounty Hunter again, or do they? Swap him back in. Disruption. They don't exactly chain them. Raging, he's a tanky boy with that Mage Slayer up, but he's going to be able to go down. But DP, they got Raging, but they lost their Spectre. It's UK now. Oh, here comes the rocket shot. He's got the Axe up now, so 4 rockets. Enjoy. UK, I mean, they're trying to dive the Tinker. I'm not sure what they're expecting. Guardian Eagle's down. He's just on top of the cliff. DB's going to try and get this done with a buyback, but they just can't get it. Tino, he's not even hitting the Spectre. He wants the Tombstone first. He wants the Tombstone. He knows it's going to expire. Spectre, I mean, he's going to expire, but he doesn't have a time limit. Tino, he decides when the Spectre expires.
Yeah, that's a smart play. Just
Dire's
work the
middle
economy
tower
game.
is under
We're seeing the issues of handling a Tinker on the cliff, and they call it. They call it.
I don't blame him.
22 minutes, 46